Hi everyone, Sean here, and in this episode we're talking about hi-hats, and more hi-hats. There are 3 pairs of hi-hats here today. I have a 14-inch pair, a 15-inch pair, and a 19-inch pair. Although, I must say with the 19-inch pair, they're technically not hi-hats, they're 2 crash cymbals put together. Because as far as I know, I don't think there's any production 19-inch hi-hats out there or anything of that sort. I think there's a 17-inch Peisty 2002 Sound Edge hi-hat pair that you can buy, and that's a production thing, but I don't think it gets any bigger than that. Although, that could just be a gap in my knowledge, so if you know of any large production hi-hats, let me know in the comments below. And the reason I'm talking about hi-hat sizes is because it's one of the trends that actually has movement in the drum community right now. For example, I think back then everyone was just playing basically 14s, sometimes 13s, and sometimes 15s, but now we're seeing people play 18-inch hi-hats that are basically just 2 crashes stuck together, and that's a really growing trend. So in this video, I'm going to give you sound samples of all of these mixed by themselves with a drum set, and I'm also going to have guitar over these because I think that's also important to demonstrate. And that's because the reason people are preferring bigger hi-hats is because it has a different sound in the mix when you mix it with guitars, drums, and whatnot. So let me introduce you to the hi-hats I'm going to use today. Right up here we have a pair of 14-inch Zildjian A custom hi-hats. These are some of the most common hi-hats you're going to find on the market, and they sound great. Next up you guys have my current favorite. These are Sabian HHX Legacy hi-hats, and these are a 15-inch pair. And I do realize that it'd be more ideal, say, if I were comparing a Zildjian A custom to a Sabian AAX instead of an HHX, but these are just the only pair of hi-hats that I have, so they'll have to do. And now we have the 19-inch pair, which are just 2 crashes actually. So we have a Sabian HHX Legacy crash, 19 inches, and this is the bottom hi-hat basically. And this one right here is a Peisty Masters Dark crash. It's a 19-inch, and this is going to be the top one. So first up, we're going to have these hi-hats, basically the same beat, back to back to back, 14-inch, 15-inch, and 19-inch, and we're going to get a closed hi-hat sound. So let's get to it. So there you have it, those are the closed hi-hat sounds, and for me on that one, I really like the 15-inch the best. I just really like that chick sound. They're very dark, lower in pitch, and still articulate to an extent. And in this next clip, I'm going to do the same thing back to back to back, but instead you're going to get the open hi-hat sound, so let's check that out. So there you have it, those are the open hi-hat sounds, and I don't really have a winner on that one, because obviously the 14s sound great. That's the most common size you're going to hear in all of popular music, and you've been hearing for over 50 years. But the 15-inch sounds great, very lush, and then you have the 19-inch, and it just has this swoosh, you know, it just has this very sloshy sound, and I love it. So now we come to the most important part of the video, in my opinion, and that is how it sits in the mix with other instruments. So now I'm going to add guitar over this. You're going to hear my Fender Stratocaster, and you really want to hear where the hi-hat sits in this one because it's very important. So there you have it. Here it mixed in with the Fender Stratocaster, and I must say the winner for me is actually the 19-inch pair on this one. Those sound great when mixed with the guitar, and I think that's why this trend is really growing. So let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite hi-hat size? Which hi-hats are you using right now? Is it a 14-inch hi-hat? Do you use Zildjian, Sabians? Do you use a 15-inch, or do you put two crashes together to get these really, really thick hi-hats? For me personally, I'm using 15-inch hi-hats right now because I'm a rock guy, and I feel like that's a really good size for rock and roll. Because I feel like it is pretty genre dependent, I have a feeling that more of the jazz players are going to use 14 and 13-inch hi-hats. Either way, that comes to the end of this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. There's only one real way to end a drum video. I'm going to play you out. Take care, guys.